Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. My name is Terra, and today in this video we're going to have a quick look at my Terra 369 indicator. If you know what this indicator is, or if you're looking for a 369 indicator, you probably know who these chaps on the screen are. We've of course got Nikola Tesla in the middle with his infamous quote, "If you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6 and 9, then you would have the keys to the universe." Very true. And this guy here, this is a chap called Zusi. He is one of my mentors, and he, as far as I'm aware, is the main guy pioneering the 369 methodology when it comes to time and price. He is a student of ICT and is expanding on ICT's teachings and is doing a very good job, and I assure you he is a phenomenal trader. And while this 369 method has been mocked and ridiculed since he released it, I assure you it is legit. And we're going to have a look at my indicator today because you need to understand what it is and what it means and how it's applied to a trading chart to really understand what we're talking about, because on its own it doesn't really mean much of anything. You need to understand how to apply it to a chart. And that's what my indicator will help you do, because doing this manually is a bit nightmarish with the amount of relentless maths you have to do. So let's get stuck in, and you can see the indicator here. In fact, I've got one other indicator here, which is another one that I built, which is just a countdown timer, and it shows the 15-minute and the 4-hour. So if you're wondering what that is, just jumping around, it's one of my other indicators. The 369 indicator are these white labels and this one blue label up there. And we're currently looking at the NASDAQ on the 1-minute time frame. And it is Tuesday, the 7th of October, 2025, and the markets are open. It's a live market right now. And what we're going to quickly do, I'm going to open up the settings and I'm going to walk you through them, because this indicator is very simple. It's very automated. It will scale automatically to the time frame that you're looking at, and you shouldn't really ever need to come in here. And what it will do, you can turn on and off the highs and the low labels, and this is purely just to control chart clutter. If you want to see just the lows, you can turn off the highs, and same vice versa. I like to have both on. If you want to see just the time, you can turn off the digital route. So you've got just the time, turn this on. You'll see, like here, M3, H plus M6, H plus M3, another M3, H plus M6, M9. What do these mean underneath these times? Well, the digital routes, which is what the time number sums down to, meaning, like here, for example, let's pick this one down here, 14:43. This is an hour plus minute, summed down to 3. So the hour is 1 plus 4, and the minute plus 4 plus 3. So 1 plus 4 plus 4 plus 3. Let's do it quickly, like this. 1 plus 4 plus 4 plus 3 equals 12. 1 plus 2 equals 3. So that is why the hour plus minute sums down to 3. And this is essentially geometry of energy and geometry of numbers within the universe. This is the universal language. And that's all well and good, and it's everywhere all the time. So how do we apply it to a timing chart? Well, every 2 to 3 minutes, there is a time number that will sum down to 3, 6, or 9. So there's actually loads of these times all throughout the day, hundreds of them. So on their own, they don't really mean anything. This indicator filters out 99% of them and leaves the ones that matter. The ones that matter align with highs and lows. So this indicator is doing the maths for this while identifying when it happens at a high and a low and confirming the swing highs and swing lows, depending on what indicator you're on. Now, what we can do real quick here is have a quick look at this one, which is blue, compared to this one, which is white. What is the indicator actually doing? Well, the blues are pending. If I go back into the settings real quick, you'll see down here, pending live preview. I have all the backgrounds turned off because I have a dark background on my screen, but the pending lows and highs I have set to blue. It will require 9 bars of whatever chart you're looking at. We're currently looking at the 1 minute, so this indicator is waiting for 9-minute bars to pass to confirm this as a swing high. When it's done that, it will turn to the confirmed color, which I have set as white, which is what these ones are. These ones have had 9 minutes and the price didn't come back and take out that high. So if the price were to run higher now within that 9 minutes, it would move this pending up to whatever 369 digital root times come up in the future. Looking at the price action here, let's just assume the price is going to consolidate back down. This, in a couple of minutes time, will turn white. When it's turned white, it will confirm. And in the meantime, we'll quickly look through the rest of the settings. Like I said, it's not an indicator you really need to go in and fine tune. It's very much automatic. You just need to set the colors that you like. One thing that you can do here, ATR length. What this is talking about is the length from those wicks to where the label is actually going to be. I had to use an ATR setting because using a fixed range kind of goes a bit wrong when you go into the higher time frames. So I use an ATR of the average. If you want it to go higher, this is the number that you want to change, the label offset. Increase the number and the labels will move much further away. I find 1.2 works great. You probably won't need to change it, but of course you do you. And this is maybe down here, there's two layers here. The first is display limit. This is great for backtesting. If you want to limit the amount of indicating points that is shown, it will go back through history and just display all of them. If you want to limit how many are shown, turn this on and you can set how many you've got there. I've got 9 set. So coming down here, confirmed length left and right. You shouldn't need to touch this. This is how many bars after a swing high and low the indicator wants to see to confirm whether you had a high or a low. And one specific feature that I programmed into this is sub 1 minute scaling. The indicator is fractal and like time and prices. So as you go below 1 minute, you start rapidly increasing the amount of bars you're seeing. I happen to use the 15-second time frame for my entries. But I'd like to see the 1 minute IPDA times on the 15-second chart. I can turn it off, where is it? There it is. And I can see all of the 15-second ones, but this feature will filter them out and just keep it a little bit cleaner. I find the 1 minute is the optimal one to use, and to go down to the 15-second when I've got my 1 minute. So I may get a 1 minute time. I'll go down to the 15-second, look for my entry, and I'm waiting for a 1 minute time to show up on the 15-second chart so I can enter. That's just how I do it. It's up to you. And really, that's it. That's all there is to it. The indicator, in fact, we can see now that that top we were looking at has now confirmed. I go back to the 1 minute. There we go. So that's now going to stay there. And it will go back through history. And you can see I've got the limit turned off, so it just goes and goes and goes. So if I go in and turn that on, these will all disappear. And it will only show me the most recent 9. In my case, I only have 9 set. And that's it. That's really all there is to it. As you scale up through the time frames, it will do the calculations for you. Get rid of the noise. It will do the calculations for you on the higher time frames. This is the 15-minute time frame, so it's showing you the last 9 IPDA times, and you can see the important swing highs and swing lows all happen to be IPDA times. That's not a coincidence. If I go to the 1 hour, you can see important IPDA times showing up. Same with the 4 hour. Same with the daily. Now, the daily is an interesting one because once you get into these higher time frames, you can see it's no longer doing the hours and the minutes. It's doing the month and the day. It also accounts for the year, but 2, 2, and 5 sums down to 9. So it's a little bit redundant for the year of 2025. but it does include the year. And you can see this high, it's waiting for 9 days to pass to confirm it as a swing high, but that's just the way the indicator works. You don't necessarily have to wait for 9 days. That's just what I've set the indicator for. I find it works very well there. If the price is moving away from it, it's not going to go anywhere. It's just going to change color. But anyway, if I go down to like the 1 hour, that's where we are. That's the indicator in a nutshell. And the way to apply this to the chart is not something I'm going to go into. Into the trading strategy is not something I'm going to go into for this video. This is just an overview of the indicator. I'm sure if you're looking for this, you know who Zusi is and you're following his trading methodologies anyway. But what I'll say is this. 369 on its own doesn't really do much. The way you get the most out of this is that you use it as an extra layer of confluence. Smart money times with the trading macros, as in SMTs combined with the macros, cycle liquidity sweeps, whether that be sessions, Asia, London highs and lows, the 90-minute cycles, that sort of stuff. You get all of those combined with a low and high at an IPDA time, you can be pretty confident that the low is going to be the low, and what you'll be looking for is a change in the state of delivery, then a pullback to enter. That's how I've been using it, and I've been having quite a lot of success with it. So much so, let's go back and have a look. Where was... Here we go. This was the market open yesterday. That was the 6th of October. If I turn on, there we go. Here are all the IPDA times after market open yesterday. The market opened at 9:30, had a bit of a sell-off. These bars at the bottom down here are an indicator that is a work in progress. It's coming. It'll be released soon, and it's a way of identifying the trading macros. So you want to trade inside these times, and they're basically the hourly 45th minute to the 15th. So that 30-minute window, 30-minute window, 30-minute window. And you can see here, this is my main one that I look for after the market open. We didn't get any 369 IPDA lows, and we got a couple of highs. So I was very hesitant to enter longs, even though I actually had a long bias for the day. I decided not to enter a trade here. And the market ended up selling off and taking out the low. Down here, just before our macro, we got a 369 number on a low after some liquidity sweeps, and even though I've got the indicator turned off, we did have SMT. We did have SMT here as well. So all of the confluence was lining up. Trading macro, a low that swept liquidity with a cracking correlated assets, SMT. We broke structure back up to the upside and changed the state of delivery. We pulled back, and even better, our pullback was even on a 369 number. This was the entry for a trade, and you could run it all the way up to this liquidity point at the high, which it did reach later on in the day. In fact, you could have ran it to the ultimate high back here. It also hit that later on in the day. Here is a great example of how you apply the 369 indicator and trading methodology on top of the smart money concepts that Zusi teaches. And in case I didn't mention it, I am a student of his, and learning this stuff directly from him has been eye-opening. It's been, I mean, literally just yesterday. Normally, without the 369 stuff, I would have entered this trade here. I would have seen inversions and closes above and whatnot, and I would have been taken out. Down here, much cleaner, with 369 lows, perfect confluence on top of an already good setup. Here was a fantastic long with your layers to aim for above, and they got hit later that afternoon. So anyway, that essentially sums up the 369 indicator. If you have any issues with it, or you find any bugs and errors, just let me know. I haven't found any. It's very simple, so hopefully you won't have any, and it's a simple case of you throw it on your chart, you set and forget the settings you like, and it will do as we've been looking at here. and you'll have a lot of great success with it. That's it from me. My name is Terra. Thank you so much. More indicators are coming to aid with this market maker, IPDA buy and sell model trading methodology. And I'll see you next time. Thanks so much.